28. Professional Best Practices for Working with Appraisers. Several weeks after closing the transaction, Ashley was mentoring another newly licensed agent named Daniel. They were preparing for a listing appointment when Daniel asked a question that reminded Ashley of herself only a year earlier. "I understand the appraisal process now," he said, "but if you had to give me one piece of advice, what would it be?" Ashley smiled. "It isn't about learning how to influence an appraisal. It's about learning how to work professionally with everyone involved." That simple statement summarized everything she had learned. Throughout this course, we followed buyers, sellers, lenders, appraisers, and real estate professionals through every stage of the appraisal process. While every transaction was different, one thing remained constant. The most successful transactions were built on preparation, communication, professionalism, and accurate information. Experienced Arizona brokers understand that appraisers are not opponents. They are independent professionals performing a specific role within the transaction. Their responsibility is to develop a credible opinion of value supported by market evidence, not to make or break a sale. When agents recognize that role, the entire transaction becomes more collaborative. One of the most valuable habits a real estate professional can develop is preparation. Long before an appraisal is ordered, experienced agents begin collecting information that may assist the appraiser. They maintain records of improvements, permits, warranties, neighborhood amenities, and recent comparable sales. By the time the appraisal appointment arrives, the information is already organized and available. That preparation benefits everyone. The appraiser receives accurate information, the lender receives a well-supported appraisal, the buyer and seller experience fewer surprises. Another best practice is professional communication. Imagine an appraiser calls with a question about a recent kitchen remodel. An experienced agent responds promptly, provides documentation if available, and answers only the questions that can be answered factually. Contrast that with an agent who repeatedly asks, "So, is the value going to come in?" The first conversation supports the appraisal process. The second places unnecessary pressure on the appraiser and serves no productive purpose. Professionalism also means understanding the limits of your role. Arizona real estate licensees prepare comparative market analyses, explain market conditions, negotiate contracts, and educate clients. They do not perform appraisals unless separately licensed and engaged as appraisers. Knowing where one profession ends and another begins protects the public and strengthens confidence in the real estate industry. Another lesson experienced brokers never forget is the importance of continuing education. Real estate markets change, financing guidelines evolve, construction methods improve. Technology continues to influence valuation. Successful professionals remain students throughout their careers because every transaction presents an opportunity to learn something new. Let's return to Daniel. After listening carefully, he asked one final question. "What if I honestly think the appraisal is wrong?" Ashley smiled. "Then treat it the same way you'd want someone to evaluate your work. Review the facts, look for objective evidence, communicate professionally, and respect the process." She explained that there will always be transactions where buyers, sellers, lenders, or agents disagree with an appraisal. That alone does not mean the appraisal lacks credibility. Sometimes additional information legitimately changes the analysis. Sometimes it doesn't. Professional judgment means accepting whichever conclusion the evidence supports. As they finished preparing for the listing appointment, Ashley handed Daniel a folder. Inside were recent comparable sales, a list of property improvements, copies of permits, neighborhood information, and photographs documenting recent updates. Daniel smiled. "I guess this isn't really for the seller." Ashley laughed. "It helps the seller. It helps the appraiser. It helps the lender. It helps the buyer. But most importantly, it helps protect the transaction." That's exactly what professional real estate practice is all about. Every appraisal you've studied throughout this course has had one purpose: to develop a credible opinion of value that helps buyers, sellers, lenders, and the public make informed decisions. When real estate professionals understand the appraisal process, communicate honestly, respect professional boundaries, and remain committed to education, they contribute to stronger transactions and a healthier real estate market. The knowledge you've gained throughout this course is far more than information needed to satisfy a continuing education requirement. It's a practical skill that you'll use every time you prepare a CMA, explain market value, discuss pricing with a seller, review an appraisal, or help clients navigate one of the largest financial decisions of their lives. In our final lesson, we'll bring everything together one last time as we conclude Michael, Sarah, Ashley, Daniel, and the other professionals' stories. More importantly, we'll review the key lessons from this course and discuss how appraisal knowledge helps every Arizona real estate licensee better protect the public while building a successful career. Broker tip: your reputation is built long before problems arise. Be the agent who is prepared, communicates professionally, understands the appraisal process, and earns the respect of appraisers, lenders, escrow officers, inspectors, and fellow realtors. Those professional relationships often become one of your greatest assets throughout your career. Online discussion. 1. Why is preparation one of the most valuable habits a real estate professional can develop before an appraisal? Answer. Preparation allows agents to organize property information, permits, recent improvements, and comparable sales before the appraisal is conducted. Providing accurate and timely information supports the appraisal process, improves communication, and helps reduce unnecessary delays or misunderstandings. 2. Why is it important for real estate agents to understand the limits of their professional role during the appraisal process? Answer. Real estate licensees assist clients by preparing CMAs, explaining market conditions, and facilitating transactions. Appraisers independently develop opinions of value under USPAP standards. Respecting these distinct roles protects the public, maintains professional integrity, and supports compliance with federal and state requirements. 3. How does appraisal knowledge improve the level of service a real estate professional provides? Answer. Understanding appraisal principles allows agents to educate clients, establish realistic pricing expectations, communicate effectively with lenders and appraisers, identify potential issues early, and guide transactions more confidently from contract to closing.